Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I can't swear in the first,
First,
like 30
less than
seconds.
2 seconds.
Yeah, less than 2 seconds. Welcome to the mother podcast.
Yeah.
I think I want to like beep all that, so it's like beep,
Can
beep,
we
beep, beep, beep.
rename the podcast to like Enlighten Mother?
Enlighteners are us
Yeah.
podcast. Yeah, it makes me just you saying that had me think about the image of being an enlightened person.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's boring. Sit around all day.
Oh
Let me
yeah.
wear the robes and the
The bowl
not
and
upset people, not go accomplish anything. It's like, what do you do? What good are you? Like the enlightened guru has to just like sit down. It's like maybe they don't give a shit. And then I just thought of another thing. I think the coffee's kicking in or whatever. This is pure speculation. Oh yeah, this is speculation. Okay, so this is worthless.
let's kick it off with some swearing
Some
and
swearing and no
some
value
worthless
whatsoever.
speculation.
Fucking worthless speculation. Like I said, even Bubba Freejohn went down that belief road.
Yeah.
Maybe those spiritual guys, they have so many followers. They're like, this is a good enough life. I'll just do that.
Hmm.
I don't know. It doesn't matter. You know what does matter though? I had to go shopping and I was looking for some camouflage pants the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't find any.
Yeah.
Hard to
Yeah.
find them.
The other day my son, he knocked over some peas off of his plate onto the table.
I hate it when they do that. It's a bummer.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because like he peed on the table. It's not the appropriate thing to do at dinner.
No, don't pee on the table. Okay, so we're back. I wanted to honor some of the people that commented on the Hey, thanks for writing in your comments. We did get some nice comments. Well, one from Levos Pro, thanks. He said, "I can't believe you have uploaded these for free. Thank you." It's like, hey, you're welcome. Glad to help. Somebody else wrote, "Thanks for posting, Brendan and John." He said, "Thanks for posting, Brendan. It's such a blessing to have you around. I don't know where I'd be without you. Definitely still here, but where? And thanks for that. It's much better this way." And then,
Okay.
so I don't know exactly, but I said, "Thanks for listening." So I'll never forget you, 777. Alrighty. Happy Midwife writes in that I sound like Ludo from the Labyrinth. Fantastic podcast. Oh, I think I mentioned Darcy already. Darcy, thanks for your comment. That's great. And then some other comments. And I like sharing these with you, John, because it's nice to hear that it's making a difference for people. I think. Yeah, I have an interest in sharing with you because you may or may not look or even know that people are actually they like the podcast, or there are some people listening, and it's pretty cool.
I look from time to time.
Yeah. Levels Pro, the following is definitely true for me. Ineffective business equals thinking and focusing about yourself. Effective business, solving for real and other people's. Yeah. And being good at that. Yes. And then Dan Suarez, whatever. Dan Soares, maybe Dan Soares, SOARES 4470. One of the best podcasts ever because applicable to real life. It was less about the theoretical and more about approach to real life examples, trouble with coworkers, how to do better in business. Well done. You're welcome, Dan Soares. And as I read your comment, it's interesting how little we actually give a shit about consciousness work. And usually it may come off like that. Theoretical. Which I get it. I didn't give a shit about consciousness work either. But one of the things I wanted to invite you to consider is that, yes, there is the pontificating. That's not the point. Yes, there is the hypothesizing. And then there's actually the reality, the real possibility of discovering something. And that is real, not theoretical. And that stuff, yeah. So be open. I just want to invite you to be open. Otherwise, enjoy the effectiveness. Go out there, kick ass in life. And thank you. So I wanted to talk about, I was in the shower the other day, and it struck me, like something struck me. I was like, wait a minute. I was thinking about it, and I was like, oh, maybe I should make a video about this. And what struck me was I wanted to talk to you about the counterintuitive nature of some things and or see how much of this stuff we could find. Now, what do I mean by that? Here are some examples, and then we can maybe dig in. So you look on Instagram. Well, you don't do Instagram really. But if you look on Instagram, it is, you see the person with the really great car, the mansion, the hot, the whatever, the perfect intimate partner, right? And you want those things. Now, first of all, on Instagram's full of shit, because what are people actually taking pictures of? They're taking pictures of a carefully curated set of the best moments of their life at a certain angle, applying filters to that to make it look even better than it is, and then choosing what to share. See, but they're not sharing that they took in the morning. They're not sharing that last night they beat up their husband or whatever. They're not sharing that.
Good Lord.
Yeah, well, you don't know. I just wanted to spread it around. They're not sharing that, like, they sneezed and like shit their pants a little bit 5 days ago. Like, you see how that stuff is just not on Instagram? Why? Because everybody's...
I'm kind of glad that's not on Instagram.
Yeah, we
not
don't
on
want
there,
to see
but
that.
if it was,
right? But it's like, that some of that stuff is real life. Like, sure. There's the good and the bad. There's the ugly, the weird, the great, the whatever, the challenging. But no, you're not seeing that. So then I look on Instagram now. So Instagram's full of, in case you're wondering, does not reflect reality accurately at all, and yet we think it does for some stupid reason. But the point of my slight interest here is not that at all. It is, you see the stuff that people have, right? Now, there's the idea of having it, and then there's what it actually takes to get it. Mm-hmm. Those are way different. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to look at that aspect. And this, because there's something counterintuitive, like, for example, I just running through some examples. You remember, you were here, training, mm-hmm. right? We have martial arts skills, the both of us, lots of it, decent amount of martial skill, which is to say we know how to fight. We know things about fighting, martial arts, striking, throwing, grappling, you name it. We got you covered in that domain. And so we have the skills. Now, what does it take to get them? Long hours, boring training, same shit again and again and again and again and again, technique after technique after technique, or free play, but then trying to figure out this dynamic, free play, trying to figure out this mind state, free play. So it's like it's like the same. It's monotonous, right? People in business, more and more I'm learning, do you want the multi-million-dollar business? What does it take to get it? Get up every day, work on this problem, solve for this, try to figure out people. Try to figure out their problems so that you can solve them, and then you have to tell them about it, and you have to figure out ways of telling them about it. And it's just like this on and on and on and on and on and on and on. The process of doing the business that gets you the money is different than the life of having the money. Pro athletes, when they train, it's like the the life they have is not what they do to get it. And it's like, what you want to be a pro basketball player? Yeah. Have you shot a basketball tens of thousands, probably millions of times? You try to throw a ball through a hoop many different ways. It's like that is a huge part of it.
Not millions. I don't think anybody does that. Millions? No.
I don't know. We could do some
Hundreds of thousands?
hundreds of thousands for sure. But that's actually hard to do.
Maybe.
Yeah, actually, no, you might be right. You might be right because we actually
A little big fucking number.
that is, yeah. It's hard to think that big. No, it's probably true because like we did like judo week here, we actually counted up throws per day.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what it was, but it wasn't. It was just in the hundreds. That was one day in the hundreds, all day.
Yeah. Not terrible for the body. Not recommended.
No.
Don't do it. Spread it out that way.
Yeah.
Judo week is not healthy.
No, it gets you rashy on the.
Yeah.
Anyway, all kinds of stuff. But so I was just noticing that there might be a principle in there. And I wanted to tease that out if possible. Maybe it's just me. But I was noticing this discrepancy between the life like I don't know, you get the fancy car, the badass house, the intimate partner, the perfect life. But what do you actually do to get that? Now, I guess some people don't do anything. Like if you have somebody who's really wealthy in your family and they just give you the money, then you don't work for it the same way. But still, I don't know, I'm sure there's other stuff there. It's like, what?
Well, I think, are you talking about the difference between the fruits of your labor and your labor? And then with Instagram, you've got an additional thing because it's like how you display the fruits of that labor. And if those, I mean, there's like a level of dishonesty, there's a level of perception. People are trying to get followers and stuff on social media, so they're going to portray what's going to get them that. Try to. They're going to do it in a certain light. And if what they're selling is success, then as somebody envisions it, then they've got to show that vision.
Yeah.
And that gets the people listening, watching. So there's that, and that's completely different than if somebody does something authentic. And yeah, I think that's universal. It's like you could see that in a million different ways. So when I was a kid, I used to grow strawberries with my stepdad, and the strawberries that we had were really, really good. But weeding the fucking strawberries was not really, really good.
Right.
Weeding the goddamn strawberries was fucking back-breaking work that took forever.
Yeah.
Because we had a lot of strawberries.
Yeah.
And it did not feel good. Eating them was nice. Two different things.
Yeah. Yeah. Or like maybe there's this disproportionate. There's another. Peter mentioned this to me, and somehow we miss these things. Like these. Peter's funny because he'll say, he's like, I was thinking about this. Like the other day he was talking, and I'm like, who the fuck thinks about that? It's like, did you know, lions it'll be one male and a bunch of women. They have a pride, right? And the male, there's like one male in there, I guess, to fuck all the women, and then apparently the women do a lot of the hunting and stuff, and he's just like, there. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, holy shit, okay. And then he goes, yeah, and did you know tigers mate for life? They got one partner, that's it.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, apparently. And so it's like, well, what the fuck's going on there? We would they're both big cats.
Mm-hmm.
And yet one big cat, they do this thing with other cats, and then the other big cat, they do this other thing.
Yeah.
Which is very different. One. That's it. Apparently, I think, verify, I don't know. that even if like if one dies, they won't remate. Apparently.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's really interesting, but how does that relate to what we're talking about? No,
Well,
I'm kidding.
just that he looks into things. Yeah, it doesn't relate at all, except that it's like he'll look into what he calls the overlooked obvious, which is
Yeah.
like I was thinking about. Um, another thing is like it takes you, as Warren Buffett said, it takes you 20 years to build a reputation. You can destroy it in seconds.
Yeah.
It is longer to build something than it takes to destroy something. Destroying something can come quickly,
Yeah.
building it, long time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like there's certain things, or like, and then I was thinking about our skills. I don't know, like this, the amount of work it takes again and again and again and again and again and again and again to get the skill.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it's
I've
like
got
that.
a
Yeah.
case in point, and I can uh, describe it a bit. So I had the idea of starting up some software,
Yeah.
and I'm still working on it, um, and creating it. And you know what? I'm now on a road that I never would have been on before had there not been people that were hyping up the 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 utility of LLMs, large language models,
Right.
which are incredibly useful.
Yeah.
But if you want to really develop something that's of real value, that's not just a little gimmick or a little toy, you still have to know what the hell you're doing. And I watched people, and there are lots of them online who would show how you can get a business going or create some software rapidly by pointing a powerful LLM uh, at a problem and just using uh, various tools to get the job done really fast. And it's always much, much harder than what they're portraying.
Yeah.
It's always much, much more involved for
Yeah.
all the people that have, great big followings and have really flashy and appealing looking videos. It's always much harder. And the ones that have, say, like more low key, kind of down to earth ways of going about things, they show things in a more realistic way, and they tend not to have as many followers.
Mm.
Mm. And I think there's something there to that. I think there's something there to that.
Yeah.
So when you get onto something, be careful who you listen to, and uh, the reality is different than what is portrayed, especially if they're selling you something.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. And I just, 'cause I don't know what I'm working on, but I'm trying to suss something out, or I'm trying to discover something about this, probably for myself, which is, it's like why am I so stupid? And what I mean by that is, why do I think like time and time again? It's like because I'm building a house. I'm like, I want a house. I want the house, but goddamn, do I want all the labor involved with making the damn thing? Yes, of course, because I want the house. But why do I like? Why do I constantly think that somehow the vision is not going to involve a lot of work? Where the fuck did I get that idea? And how come I keep confusing the vision for the work? Do you get what I'm trying to say? It's like, what do I forget every time that, like, even when I do construction, I know that if they're like, oh yeah, just put that thing in over there, I'm like, alrighty. How long you think it's going to take? I don't fucking answer people because I know for a fact that pretty much everything except for pool supplies, another story, everything takes longer.
Mm.
It's more complex. It's hard to do. You don't know what you're going to get into once you start. Like I was on the back deck and I wanted to replace one board.
Mm.
Okay. How long to take replace one board? Well, a long fucking time because I started to I'm like, okay, well, I need to get at the board. So I start to dismantle the deck to get at the board. And I realized not only one board was rotten, another one was rotten. I started to dismantle it more. And I realized I had to take something else off to take something else off. And pretty soon I've got the whole fucking corner of the deck off.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's all this for one board?
I think I
Like,
think I think one thing that I don't know if this is a principle. It's something that happens a lot. It's the dynamic of the learning curve. You know, when you're trying to do something for real the first time,
you don't know. You've never done
you
it,
you
right?
don't know, and you don't know what you don't know. And if you're doing something that's like that, that's a project of magnitude, with real world consequences for you, then you've got skin in the game, so to speak,
Yeah.
and it's more real. It feels much more important. The emotional connection to it is higher, and the learning curve is steep, and it's not scholastic. It's not academic.
Right.
You can take classes about what you're doing, and
Right.
that's sometimes really helpful, and sometimes it's absolutely essential, but it's still never the actual frontier of the work. And when you're embarking on the frontier for your first adventure, well, you're prepared to be surprised, and it doesn't matter
Right.
what you get into, it's not going to go the way you thought.
Ever. And I like what you said about the unknowns because it's like if we were to chart all the unknowns, somebody who's experienced, they have less I mean, depending on what it is, a lot less unknowns than somebody who's just beginning. There's a whole bunch of things they could potentially do to fuck up.
Yeah,
Or
like they
or
could
they
build
don't
a
even
very
think about it.
complicated 33 program uh, automation software powered by an LLM that was fully functional and not know how to use GitHub properly and derail the entire thing when they failed to save it correctly on their repo. Uh, Before they started on an LLM refactor of the entire pipeline that completely screwed it up and made it totally non-functional. I mean, not naming names or pointing fingers.
No,
I
I
don't
haven't heard
know
anybody
anyone
doing
like
that.
that,
No,
but
no.
they could do that and then
Yeah.
start over again uh, anew.
Yeah.
If you don't know what you're doing and you're trying to build something like a house, you're trying to construct something. The thing about building things is that if you do one step wrong or in the wrong direction and you keep building for a while, you
Oh,
might find out 10 or 12 or 15 or 20 steps later that
oop.
that first step was wrong. And then the amount of pain and grief to go back and get that thing fixed is real. And so
Yeah.
like
And
so this is for me, like, so I've started taking classes on computer science because what the fuck do I know about this stuff? Nothing. And what I'm discovering is it's absolutely massive. And
Yeah.
the ambition that I have is is far beyond my current capacity to really wrap my head around, although I'm getting a better and better sense of it and making progress.
Yeah.
But it's monumental.
I'm
And
really proud of you, by the way.
well, thanks, but
I
I
think
need
it's
to
great.
I need to keep going with it. And but
Yeah.
what I'm saying is like, how much more do you know about houses now?
Oh, yeah.
And if you started again from zero, do you think you would do it differently?
Yep. For sure.
And and if you started again, what would the value be of getting, well, I don't know, a mentor to assist you on
Oh.
it at key junctures,
Oh, yeah. No,
perhaps?
that's
And
priceless.
I think there's something to really be said for education, and uh, there's a balance because people can be um, totally uneducated and ignorant on one side. People can be educated to the point that they I don't know, they never get out of that kind of world. They stay in a theoretical mindset forever.
Right, or all it's very conceptualized.
Yeah, and they don't solve any new problems. They just regurgitate the answers to old problems.
Yeah.
That's not interesting to me. But
Mm-mm.
sometimes you got to go and study the cliff notes and learn from other people that actually know what they're doing in that field, or at
Yeah.
least they know better than you.
Yeah. No, it's totally valuable for sure. I mean, you know, I went the apprenticeship road, so it's like I have a mentor.
Hmm.
It's-
Yeah.
and it makes a fucking difference for sure. So I was noticing, and then I still have that thing. I don't know why. How long does it take me to get wise to there's the outcome and all this work? Like how come I still haven't like reckoned with that? You know what I mean? It's like I'm always surprised about how much work it is, and even though I know it's going to be hard work, I'm always like, "Huh, this is hard." Like it's some kind, you know what I mean? I don't know. Like why the disconnect? It's so weird.
Well, maybe
I
you're not,
raised
maybe
differently.
you're, well, there's that idea of Peter talks about it. You're climbing a mountain and you think you see the top, and then you get to the top and you realize there's a valley, and the top that you
Yeah.
thought you saw was further away.
Yeah, there's levels to the shit. Like
There's levels.
I
And
like
have you taken any classes in like architecture?
nope.
Do
I have
you are you
watched a lot of YouTube videos though
okay?
of professionals doing this, doing that, how they work, explaining this, checking this, doing that. Like I think
Yeah,
that's the closest I've got. That's my university is the University of YouTube.
yeah,
And
YouTube
I mean,
University.
so far so good. It works.
Mhm.
Like and okay, here's the one exception. Hayward Pool Supplies.
Okay.
Pool supplies. No shit. We were going to replace a filter. This like fancy weird, it's called a spider valve. Peter and I, we went up to the pool. I was there. We unscrewed it, put the new one in, screwed it down. We're done. That's it.
Mhm.
We did no shit. We probably spent more time questioning ourselves at the end of this thing than we
Like,
did
was that all
installing
there
the
was to
damn.
it?
We're like, nothing. We were like, nothing goes this smooth ever.
Yeah.
Nope. Unscrew, put it in, screw it in, done. What the fuck? Okay. All right.
Well, sometimes things like that happen. And
No, it's happened a few times with pool stuff.
okay. Okay.
Don't know what the fuck's that's about. We're probably the only one. Now, however, we do have another problem. The hot tub is draining. We don't know why.
Hmm.
And it's been going on for months. We have no idea.
Oh, really?
So we're back to the shit again.
Troubleshooting it.
Right. It's like we got 2 new filters, put those in. Don't know why. Then took this, cleaned the big filter, put it by. Still, it's draining. We don't know.
Mhm,
Mystery.
mhm.
Back to the
So,
mystery.
so like this is something that I wanted to talk with you about,
Yeah.
because I've been working with LLMs, large language models.
Yeah.
ChatGPT is an example, if
Yeah.
there's like one or two people that don't know what that is. Um, and I've been considering like the limitations of these things, the power of them and the limitations of them, and what what they can really do, what they can't do. That's the same thing. And problem solving. And
Yeah.
uh, here, let me ask a really random question. Do you think that concepts are fundamentally linguistic, or language is a subcategory of concepts?
Um, I don't. I don't understand the question, but here's what I've noticed. In order for us to do language, we need concept.
Okay, so then concepts are a priori, they come first.
Yes, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Because there's
Well,
other concepts that are non-language.
Yeah.
that we
Yeah.
can. It takes a little bit of work because most of what we do, like what we're doing now, is huge amounts language. It's all language.
Language is super useful and language is everywhere, but I would argue that there's much more that's non-linguistic and that we don't notice it as easily. But you're constantly conceptualizing your world,
Yes.
but you don't notice it as much because what you hear is the monologue in your head,
Right.
so to
So like
speak.
for those of you out there, if you wanna find a non-languaged concept, like right now experientially, if you notice, for example, one place you can look just for funsies is notice that like right now, you know how a door works.
Yeah,
You don't have to language that, you just know it.
yeah,
You don't know it like a door, that's language, but you understand that that thing works like that. If you grab it, turn it, push it, it opens. And it's not opening, it's just the knowledge of that. Or like right now, outside.
right.
It's just that.
Yeah.
That's
Eh,
not language. It's
It's
just
not
like,
language, but it's also not the thing itself. It's
no,
it
it's just a,
is it is a concept. It's a mental map, so to speak, a model
right.
of the world. That's something that animals do to some extent, depending on the animal.
Yeah.
We definitely do it.
We're big time concept. Yeah.
Yeah, LLMs don't do that. They don't do it at
Right.
all. They only relate to, and I shouldn't even say they relate to it. Language relates to them, not the other way around. And
What do you mean?
uh, well, so
Because it's
there,
all language.
it's not. So like if you
Okay.
picture a
Go ahead.
cube, if you picture a cube in your
Yeah.
mind,
Yeah.
okay? Now just picture it sitting on a table, rotate it horizontally 90 degrees.
Okay.
What do you see? Same thing, right? Same
Oh,
cube.
90 degrees, not 45.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah. I
90.
put it on edge. Like,
Oh, okay, all right.
okay,
All right.
90 degrees. Yeah, you just see the
Okay.
same.
Did you do any of that linguistically?
Um, well, I mean, I use your language to do that, but no, it's just I do that.
You just do that. That's the
Yeah, like
concept.
this.
Yeah.
I just
And
do
so
I
like
just do stuff.
we do everything conceptual with like shape and movement and physics, like not the physics that you learn about in a textbook, but the physics that you actually relate to with your physical body all the day.
Yeah.
That's governed by our map of how all that shit works. And
Yeah,
that's all
and
concept.
like in order just for funsies to take it even further, in order for you to even see movement, you need concept
Yeah.
because you have to relate this to where it was and then you say it's moved.
So why does that even matter? Here's some very abstract theoretical stuff for that fellow that was saying that we talk about too much theory.
Yeah.
Um,
Which is
well,
fine, by the way. Keep the comments coming because one quick sidebar, one of the other comments he had a while back was like, I don't like listening to Brendan and John talk about stuff. I'm not gonna actually. I think he said something like, I'm not gonna listen to the long form content. He just wanted to listen to me
yeah,
um, talk. And
yeah.
now he's like a frequent flyer on the podcast. Oh, how the tables have turned, sir.
He's willing to sit through the
You might want to amend your
quagmire.
comment over there.
All right, so let
But
me let
anyway,
me see
sorry,
if
go
I
ahead. I
can
cut you
yeah, let
off.
me see if I can try to speed this up. So like
No, it's
human
okay.
beings and animals and human beings certainly we have a conceptual map and multiple maps of reality of the physical world. And we
Okay.
have one that's conceptual for right now. We also have projections into what we call the future. We have memories,
Yeah.
basically more maps of how
Past.
things were. All of these are constructions and they exist right now. They're things that we're doing. It's fucking incredible. And that is absolutely essential for our survival. That's how we orient in the world. That's how we construct a self. It's how we move from point A to point B, et cetera,
Right.
et cetera.
Yep.
Goes on and on. And language is built as into that. Language is an additional abstraction. It's like labeling those things.
Right. Like,
And,
yeah, yeah.
and so they're very useful. Like the labeling is extraordinarily useful.
Of course.
And um, but like LLMs like ChatGPT, they don't have any of that. They have zero map, nothing. All they do,
We
the,
probably think that it does, though,
of course we do,
but
because
it doesn't. It's mechanical.
well, the output is completely mechanical. It has no more knowledge or understanding of what it is saying or producing than a knife has of what it is cutting.
Right.
The amount that it understands and knows is exactly how much that a knife knows what it's cutting, which is there's not even a zero there. It's
Right.
it is a non-starter, and that's unbelievable, because if you start working with LLMs, you can see that they're incredible at producing a lot of um, a lot of language, and it can be very useful. But what are they really doing? They
Yeah.
are simply machines programmed to produce the next word, to determine what is the most statistically likely next word through an extremely complicated and changing program. What
Yeah.
is the next word in a string of text based on training from a huge amount of text, stuff that would take us hundreds of thousands of years to read,
Right.
like basically the whole internet, the whole publicly available internet, and for some LLMs, privately available data as well. And they can do that, those kind of calculations, and we couldn't do the tiniest bit of that in our heads. I mean, we get into numbers bigger than two-digit
6 or 7.
numbers. Well, yeah, I mean, we can calculate bigger than that in our heads, but it's fucking hard. We don't do that.
Right.
But these LLMs, they can appear to be like really, really intelligent, but actually they're just um, mechanical indexes of the internet, uh, fed through an algorithm to spit out a result. That's it. And they can't solve new problems. We solve new problems. Animals solve new problems. You can put a rat in a maze that it's never been in before, and it will figure out how to get to the cheese.
Yeah. What do you mean they can't solve new problems? You probably mean exactly what you said, but how?
Well, if you ask an
Because it's all
LLM,
self-referential kind of thing?
yes, and it only exists in language. So they are improving um, frequently and marginally, in terms of power and memory and processing speed, but they don't actually ever understand something. They don't ever intuit anything. They don't have insights into anything that they're talking about. And so they can't, like what you do when you have a sense that like there might be a principle at work or a dynamic or something there or something that you should be paying attention to, but you don't
Yeah.
know exactly what it is. None of that exists for them. It's impossible.
Right.
Utterly impossible. And to develop that kind of intelligence, we cannot do it through LLMs. If we want to do it through like computers, which people want to do, you have to have a completely different architecture that is non-linguistic.
Hmm.
Still data, still information, but not linguistic. It cannot be an abstraction. I've been listening to this guy, Jan Lequin. He's a Frenchman, and he's one
Uh-huh.
of these. And
Enchanté.
he's one of the guys that developed LLMs,
Hmm.
and he still says they're very useful and stuff, but he's not interested in them anymore
Hmm.
because he wants to make advanced machine intelligence.
He
That's
wants to do the fucking what is it? Not Sensodyne, Testodyne, what the Terminator 2?
Well, I don't think he wants
Cyberdyne.
to take over the world or destroy the world. I don't think
No,
he wants
just the
that at all.
machines that becoming self-aware, it sounds like
Yeah,
they're not
yeah.
self-aware, but like I can now on my own learn
Yes.
kind
Yeah.
of thing. Which
Eh,
quick aside, just for funsies, it reminds me of something interesting that some I think Warren Buffett or maybe Charlie Munger, one of those guys, maybe Warren Buffett. You cannot predict markets. The reason why the market is unpredictable is because of the nature of us having insights. You can't predict the next insight that's going to happen, and an
hmm.
insight is non-rational. It comes out of nowhere, like blah blah blah. He sits in the tub, the water goes over the tub, and bingo, water displacement. Those bingos, like go ahead, predict the next bingo.
Yeah. And you can, even though it's hard, you can build a house having never done it before.
Yeah,
I can design software having never done it before, without the copious amount of training that an LLM receives. An LLM cannot do that. Now, you can go into a new area and learn as you go, and you can go in having no real knowledge about it, but having some sense of how it must work because it is in the world that you inhabit, and you have a pretty good map of that world, and you can update that map quickly.
yeah,
And that's, but it's hard, but it's where it's but it's what we have to do when we're
yeah.
learning stuff.
And I thought of another level to that
Hmm.
to take it even further is you know like I can build a house. There's a lot of houses around.
Hmm.
Now, the cutting edge is nobody's done it.
Hmm.
Do something new.
Yeah,
That's another I just wanted to add that out there too. It's like that's where I think the geniuses hang out.
that's yeah. It's really amazing to listen to guys like this fella Jan talk about the development of uh, different systems that are not finished, not ready, things that are really on the cutting edge, and nobody's marketing them yet. They're not getting turned into something that's like for making money, at least not now.
Yeah.
It's because it's on the frontier of what we know and what we don't know. It's where the discovery is, and he says it. He said it's going to take longer than people think, but it's going to happen. It's going to be much, much harder than we envision. We don't know how hard it's going to be, and we're going to make wrong decisions, and we're going to go down false roads, and we're going to do it again and again, and we're
Yeah.
going to keep at it, and it's inevitable.
It's what's inevitable.
The development
Is
of
of like an
what he
AI level
calls it.
2 or something. What does he call it?
Well, he calls it advanced machine learning. He doesn't like the what do they call it? They call it AGI, general intelligence, artificial general intelligence, and I really like his logic on this. It's such a hyped up term. Artificial general intelligence is being promoted as this idea that we're going to have an artificial intelligence program that is every bit as capable or more capable than a human in every domain. And as if human beings have general intelligence. And he says this in ways that I just loved, and I know you would too. Humans don't have general intelligence at all. We have very, very particular intelligence for the kind of problems that humans need to solve based upon human survival. We
Yeah.
don't solve problems for non-human beings. We solve problems for human beings. There's a tremendous amount of information potentially available in what we call the universe that we have no awareness of nor interest in because it's not
Yeah.
pertinent or relevant to us. And
Yep.
so that would be general intelligence would be something far, far broader than anything that we're capable of or interested in. We don't have general intelligence. We have human intelligence.
Hmm.
And interestingly enough, he said where they're making probably some of the most strides is in robotics.
Hmm.
And I think that's because robotics need to relate to the physical world,
Yeah. Have you
not
seen?
just linguistics.
Excuse me. Have you seen those like Boston Dynamics robots
Yeah, yeah, I have. And
and
some of
the
that stuff is
iteration
really
of
cool.
like the first ones they try to just standing up,
Yeah,
hard to do. Then
yeah,
they get standing up. Then they try to have it like go open a door and it just pushes itself over. So it's like, oh, physics is a thing. Fuck.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know, and that now they can have it like jumping. I've seen it do backflips.
yeah, yeah. It's phenomenal. It's
That's fucking
amazing.
hard to do.
But could it pour you a cup of tea?
Yeah, they do have that now, I think.
Could it pour you a cup of tea and do a backflip?
I don't know. Probably not.
Could it go swimming and ride a bike? You see, the way that human beings can adapt and change and relate to their physical environment is like
Hmm.
through the roof flexible. And for us to actually create that kind of intelligence
Yeah, no, that's we can't use
is
our mind for that.
we don't know how to do that, he says. And but that's one area where they're making you know, strides, but it's not going to be in something like an LLM. And we're not just bound to language. Our conceptual uh what activity is far more than that. Even though the
Sure.
language is incredibly important, incredibly useful, and it's what we tend to
Incredibly
notice.
powerful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things with like stuff like Chat GPT, all that goes away if you kill the power.
Yeah. Well, you can kill a human too. I mean, I
Yeah.
think that's sure.
Well, I was just saying, like it exists in this world that is based on electricity. No electricity, the internet goes down.
Yeah.
The whole internet. Bye bye.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just like as a ground. I don't know why I brought that up. It just is so fragile in that sense. Even though we're very committed to not to having electricity. I mean, look at all
Yeah,
that's
I don't
possible from.
I think the world could and could handle some like some nuclear
Oh, sure. I mean,
exchange, and the internet would still continue to function in most of the world as long as it didn't get too out of hand.
but if they nuked some power centers, I think that stuff would be going.
Yeah, but I don't know how many power centers there are, but there are a lot.
Yeah.
And like this is something I was looking at. The just like for like the cloud. What is the cloud? I didn't know what the cloud
A data
was.
center, right? It's just like
Data
the hard
centers, but
drives.
it's never just one data center. It's always multiple data centers. You've
Yeah.
got data centers like all over the world for like a company like Google or GitHub or something like that. They've got data centers up to wazoo. They've got you know, all that data needs to be redundantly saved up over many different places in case one of them even has a flicker
Yeah.
of a problem.
Yeah.
So yeah, people are really invested in this stuff.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
What are we doing?
Don't know.
All right.
Fascinating
Anyway,
stuff. Yeah, go
I
ahead.
I think if you're struggling to learn stuff, and if I'm struggling to learn stuff, there's a million different things that we can do. But one thing to recognize is if we're going into a new place for us, we don't have that mapped out. We have some intuition about how things work because of what we've heard, what we've seen, and from the map that we have of the rest of our experience. And that's good. And
Yeah.
and then there's going to be a lot of trial and error. There's going to
Yeah.
be experimentation.
Yeah. One of the so what I was thinking, what are the useful principles or things for people, what are some, so I gotta break it down. I think like attitudes, how you approach things, like it's gonna be hard, yes. You're gonna run into challenges, yes. Now what gets you over those challenges the best? I think taking action. You got to try shit out. You got to go do stuff. You want to do something? Go do it. You're going to fail. So, an appropriate relationship to failure is probably good. What's an appropriate relationship to failure? Stop giving a shit if you fail, cuz you're gonna. Some people get so wrapped up in like,
Yeah,
oh my God.
but when you fail, figure out why you
yes,
failed,
there's the next thing,
and
right?
then do it differently the next time.
Yeah, make
And then when you
corrections.
fail again, figure out why you failed that. And do
Yeah,
it again.
and if you
Yeah.
keep failing at the same thing, consider you might be stupid, and then still figure
No.
out why.
And you're probably not stupid. You are like, intelligence and stupid exists on a fucking spectrum. It's irrelevant. If you are looking at a problem and you keep running into the same thing again and again and again, perhaps you need to step back.
Yeah,
And
or
there's
try
something that
something different.
try something completely different.
Whether
Maybe
you think it's going to work or not, just do something else.
yeah.
Yeah, you can do that. And I'm fascinated more and more by action.
Mm.
And I'm noticing that there's a law, like this is what I'm doing now. If I'm on my phone, I'm doing something else, and somehow, again, the disconnect between my actions and what I think I'm doing. There can actually be a disconnect between that. It's like, well, why didn't you get that done? It's like, well, I worked on it. It's like, yeah, but did you work on it? Well, I worked on it for how long? For 5 minutes. Then I was distracted and I was doing something else.
Sure.
If I take action on the thing, it will get done.
Yeah.
But I have to take action. I got to do something about it. There's a thing Peter does. He calls it being impatiently patient. I think this is very powerful, which is he wants it done immediately, and he's not going to stop until it gets done immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And he just does that. Gary Vaynerchuk talks about something very similar, and it's like, that works.
Yes, it
fucking
does.
works. Big time.
That is how it works. That's how I built the first software application.
Yeah.
I built that thing with patient impatience. That sounds exactly what it was, because I would just run into a problem that I didn't foresee and then just keep working on it. And then in the working on it, discover another problem that I would go down a rabbit hole of solving like 5 or 6 problems to come back to the problem that I originally wanted to solve to get that. And that was just step 1. And then you move on to step 2 and repeat. And every once in a while, you get a pool filter.
Yeah.
And you're like,
bingo.
What? Oh! and it feels like an orgasm. I mean, it's just, Jesus Christ, thank God.
Yeah.
And then you go on to the next one.
Yeah. Oh my God, that fucking worked. Oh, good. And then back to the shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, that works. And then, yeah, I think that's probably one of the main things is like, just try stuff out. Go out there, try to do the thing, tackle it with intelligence, make corrections, and keep working. And like that, you learn a lot that way.
Mm-hmm.
That fucking works.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's cool. Anything else on that?
Just, it's not a principle. It's just common sense. Get yourself some fucking advice. Get yourself some mentors. Get yourself if
you want to go faster, yeah.
Yeah, and you do want to go faster. So take the time to invest in your education and your skill acquisition.
Yeah.
Because it seems like it takes more time, and it does take more time up front, but it saves you time in the long run.
Yeah. Yeah.
In general.
Yep. I've heard that echoed a couple different places. I mean, one, I'm proof of that in the sense like that's what I did. Mm-hmm. Get a mentor, and I've learned fuck tons. Let's see. Peter's teacher, Wong Jackman,
Yeah.
who he was actually the guy. He was the guy that fought Bruce Lee. Did you know that?
Yeah, yeah, I heard about
Okay,
that.
yeah. Anyway, so there's some stories there. Like Bruce Lee wasn't that good. Like Wong kicked his ass.
Yeah.
Anyway, another story. We can tell that later. But Wong said, yeah, if you're going to study with somebody, study with the best. They
Yeah.
cost more, but it will save you time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's that. Alex Hormozy says something about, he's like, yeah, people can pay $50,000 and learn the skills it takes to be a millionaire.
Right. Right.
And
That's fucking badass.
I believe it. Yeah, you find the right mentor, pay them the right amount of money, then they'll teach you about money and business, and you will make fucking money. Millions. Learn the skills it takes to be a millionaire.
Working on it, buddy.
Yeah,
Trying.
yeah. I hear you on that one. Yeah, that's great. Thank you for sharing that.
Sure.
That's wonderful. I had one other thing. Well, maybe. Yeah, fuck it. How you doing on time?
I should get going soon. What's the thing?
Okay. I was just thinking about like the impersonal nature of being good at fighting. And again, this game that I've been looking at, that Battle of Polytopia little game there, and noticing how I'm experiencing fear about losing just in the game, in this one little thing, right? It's like, oh, I want to win. I don't like fucking getting beat on there. And then realizing, wait a minute, if I actually understand the game appropriately, I know what they can and can't do. And that's not personal. And then I thought of like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and specifically Gordon Ryan for some reason. I think he came up because he's like one of the top, or if not the top right now. Still, I don't know where he's at. But definitely spent time at the top. And I think there's a difference between the body. The fact that the body works a certain way is not personal. It works the way it works. If you understand how it works and you get into certain positions, you understand that the body, like no matter what they do, they're done. And that's not personal. It's like a fucking law of physics that doesn't rely on my personal likes and dislikes or my little me crap. It's like, no, so there is so that to me, I extrapolated to winning is impersonal. Understanding what you need to understand to win is impersonal because there is an advantage and a disadvantage. There is a strength advantage, there's a disadvantage. There's mechanical advantages, there's disadvantages. Like the existence of the stuff is not personal. Or like if my attention and awareness is so hyper-focused on one thing, it's hyper-focused on one thing, and there's strengths and weaknesses inherent in it. And those strengths and weaknesses are not personal. And I was like, likely, that's where masters, they understand stuff. It's like they're out of it. They get it. And it's not personal. I don't know. There's something about the impersonal nature of it struck me as like, oh, there's no nonsense. There's no frills there.
Do you ever feel skillful when you're taking something personally?
No, I don't. I can't think of a single time. Can you?
I don't think any kind of personal, like taking something personally, is ever skillful.
Yeah, is it? Feel as I think about it, I'm like, no, that wasn't. No, that was dumb. That was stupid. No, that didn't feel right.
Well, what is taking something personally? It's like the whole idea, like there's no one here. There's no one here.
I'm still committed to this fool.
Well, the fool is a function of what? Okay, that's judgment orientation around the person or towards the person. What is the person? The person is a construction, part of the map. What does the map exist? The map gets generated by the organism
Yeah.
because the organism needs it to survive.
And what the fuck is taking it personally?
It's just
Relating to
taking.
me.
I think it's just too. I think it's just what is taking it personally.
I
It's getting confused.
it's fucking up for one thing, and what I mean by it's like I'm relating what I'm perceiving to me. But what am I
Yeah,
relating to what?
as if it means something about you. And the thing is you don't exist,
Yeah.
so it can't, because actually nothing is about you or me. Never was, cannot be. The only thing that's about you and me is the stuff that we dream up is about us. It's just us.
Yeah. Now let's see. Yes, and I wanted to be like, we still get upset by shit,
Yeah,
and so we do still take things personally.
yeah, yeah,
I mean, perhaps I'm way more free than I was, big time, and yet
yeah.
still some of the stuff is persistent, and there is this. I'm taking it personally, and it's yet what the fuck? What are we doing with that?
Well, I think
Again
that
and
they're
again and again. And what is that still?
here's a thought. All right. Like you say in Cheng Shen, all right, have you tried stop doing that? Have you tried stopping? Okay, you try, you stop. Okay, cool. What if, say, like a computer, we write code, we write programs, metaphorically speaking, early on in life or whenever. And these things are something that we did for a reason, for survival,
Yeah.
skillfully or unskillfully, ignorantly for sure.
You ever seen a kid try to build something?
Yeah, I have
Suck at
actually, my own.
it.
And he's getting better. He's getting better. Um, so like we build up these programs and they are infantile. And then we
Yeah.
build programs on top of those programs. So what is a program? A program is just an automation. It's basically when this input goes in, it's going to go through this structure, and then this output is going to come out. And that shit is automatic. Now you can go in and rewrite it. You can fucking delete it. You can expand on it. You can crash it.
I'm gonna try to pretend like it doesn't exist.
Sure, but it fits there. It's there regardless of what you pretend.
Yeah.
And when the input goes in, that automation gets triggered, and the output comes out. And if the output comes out is I'm hurt, I'm angry, whatever, then that's the experience.
Yeah.
That's what you get. And so you can say, just stop it. And that is the way to go. Because you were the one who made it.
Yeah.
But you got to get down in there and recognize that it's actually programming, that it could be some other way.
Yeah. And then out there for you listeners, you want to make real value or use of this, you have to take the language that is being presented and apply it to your experience. We're using the word programming. Programming. Do you know that word? Oh, in French, it's probably program.
I don't actually know.
All right, well, look up the word in a different language. You'll hear something completely different, like do Russian or Ukrainian or whatever the fuck, something else. Totally different language. You have to apply the sounds to your experience. The program is the shit that you do automatically.
It's the shit that's already set up.
Yeah.
That gets done automatically as if outside of your volition.
Right. It looks like it just happens to you, but it doesn't.
And it saves on time. So I think these things
get
put into see, we have to economize the energy that we've got. This is a fundamental aspect of survival, is economy of energy. If you
and we do that by knowing things. Like there's a thing, but good. I don't have to think about it anymore.
Yeah, and I don't have to think about I see myself as vulnerable and weak. Therefore, I feel hurt when
Can you move the mic up a little bit?
Yeah. We don't have to go all the way down into the depths of the construct of our identity. We just have to go, that guy's an asshole.
Yeah.
And that saves us a lot of time. You see,
Yes.
that skips a whole lot of steps, and it just goes like input to output.
Yeah.
But then we get into a problem where like everyone's an asshole and we're pissed off all the time, and then we're like, what the fuck?
And then we need
And
therapy.
we need therapy. Well, okay, well you built up a
Oh,
program that results in a lot of people being assholes.
yeah.
It's not that they're assholes, it's that you've constructed something that does that.
Yeah, you're viewing them that way.
Yeah, so you got to go back in there and yeah, dismantle it. And anyway, where the fuck were we going with that? I think that you and I were not done with being
People.
yeah,
We're
and
still people.
we're in a world of people, and we're gonna
Fucking people.
we're gonna you know, sometimes you might have to pay for part of your ex-wife's lawyer fees, and it might bother you. You might feel upset about certain things, might feel unjust, say.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, taking it personally is about as stupid as it gets, because
Yeah.
it doesn't change the law, it doesn't change the situation, it doesn't change her actions, it doesn't help you relate to it any better. Just,
No. So yeah, so we're seeing consequences, and still the question remains: what is taking it personally? What the fuck? It's that taking it personally. Something's going on. Not negating what you said, by the way. That's great. There's
Is
that.
it something like I need to exist? I need to exist in order to survive. I
There's
need to
probably
be.
some assumptions that run that whole thing, that you would need to take it personally in the first place
Yeah.
is assumed. Like I see this say with some people that are close to me. They'll say something, I'll get hurt. I need to be hurt. Like, it's like
Yeah.
I need to relate. Like what they say matters.
I used to do the I need to feel guilty thing.
Right. But you don't anymore so much. I haven't seen it lately.
No, I haven't done it in a long time because I really got that it wasn't necessary.
Yeah.
And I was doing it, and it's built on a whole like Judeo-Christian Abrahamic faith kind of thing. And
Oh, okay. So yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Likely a web of concepts all working together.
Yeah, that's very cultural, and I got brought up in that.
Yeah.
And
Deep program.
yeah, yeah, and there are lots of them like that. They
Yeah. So, but still, what is taking it personally? Don't take it so personally. Take it like when I envision top professionals, the tip top is fucking not personal. Like when I do my best when I'm facilitating people, not personal. That's way better. Mr. Wolf in Pulp Fiction. He's just fucking on it. It's not personal. Boom.
when you take it personally, you think that it means something about you.
Yes.
That's what taking it personally is. You think that whatever it is, that your house isn't going well, that
yeah, like if I'm slow, somebody told me I'm slow on building the house, which is absolutely true. I am fucking slow. It hurts. You see, I relate that statement. It means something about me as a person. I don't want to be that kind of person.
Yeah, so what are you making that mean?
I'm inadequate, basically.
Inadequate for what?
It's more like I just am not good enough for life, maybe it's vague, but it's like I'm not I'm not good. I need to be good. I'm not
You
good.
need to be good. You need to be
Something.
good.
Right. For
Or
what?
what? Or what?
Right.
What if you're not good? So like, what if you're not good?
That's wrong.
So then what?
I'm wrong.
And look around. Like, and
Yeah, it's interesting because I'm noticing, like, as I'm looking right now live, if I'm telling the truth about it, it's hitting something that's like ouch. Not ouch, ouch, but like core.
uh, uh-huh.
Something
Okay.
way deep that's like, nope, you're not good.
Okay.
So,
So I think there's
not
something.
enough
It's,
consciousness. There's something going on.
so you're. It feels like
Like it,
like it threatens your survival.
like it starts to touch the bottom of me, the bottom,
Okay.
which I know. You see, luckily, thankfully, we've got the backup, like the enlightenment makes a difference, because I'm not affected. My person is having a problem. There's like a core. It feels very far right now. As I'm working, it's like it feels very far away, like it's in here and
Yeah.
way deep,
So
like just
sometimes,
wrong or just not enough or just I don't know what that is, but something there's something like huh
yeah.
yeah,
I,
interesting.
I'm learning about um, programming and putting things up on like GitHub, and you can set rules on your programs and on your repository such that they cannot be fucked with.
Yeah,
They can be looked at or not, but you might need a key or a passcode to get into them.
right, the core shit. Yeah,
Yeah, and
framework.
you as an administrator can put blocks on certain aspects of your own code so that you don't accidentally fuck it up.
That's good.
And I believe that we as humans can put blocks on things that we construct so that we don't accidentally fuck it up. Because at some
Yeah.
point, it was important.
Yeah,
Like, are we ascertained like this shit is important? I need
like
this.
these things.
Yeah.
This is one of those. Objects keep being objects. They keep being the same shit. See how the background hasn't really changed the whole time? We need that one. There's something we do.
Yeah. So some things might feel like if we are digging into them, we might feel like there's an opaqueness or like thou shall not you you
Right, right,
shall
right.
not
Yes.
pass.
That's right.
There's some fucking Gandalf shit.
Yeah. It looks real. Feels real. Like an object real.
Yeah.
You can't you know that no matter what you think, what you do, you can't fuck with objects. Some of that shit is like this. And
Yeah.
it's not like this. It just feels like that.
So what do you
Like this
do when you run into those places?
in this case, like just now, because I just touched one, I was like, huh, they're interesting.
In general,
In
what
what do I
can
do?
we do?
Oh,
Yeah,
what can
you
we
or
do?
people do. Yeah.
I mean, one of the most powerful things that I do is we call it here contemplation, which is I'm like, what the fuck is that? And I go right into it. And then I might hit it, and then I have no idea what that is, but I'm like, I see you now. What the fuck is that?
Mm.
And just right in the, and then if you really want to challenge some of that deep stuff, it's like it's no prisoners kind of contemplation, which is to say dying is not even an option. I just want to know what that is.
Mm.
I might be afraid of dying. I don't give a fuck. Let's go. Or I might be afraid of dying. I do give a fuck, but we're going anyway.
There we go.
It's probably more like that, but there's like, I discovered that at one point. I call it like the death wall or something like that, the fear wall. It's like maximum fear, but I'm starting to fuck with something core. Uh-oh. But every time I've done that and every time I've confronted that, I've never died. And I've always discovered something interesting on the other side. So then I had to remember to use the fear to be like, it's okay. Like, oh, wait, I've been here before. I thought I was going to die. No. The fear is a fake. It's a false front. It's never real.
Yeah.
So anyway, like what to do about that? There you go. And if you have no idea, like, you're building this thing, a lot is unknown. You just stay with it. Do it. Try stuff out. Same with this core shit or me building a house. You stay with it. You keep going. And then at some point, something will give. I think that's what you do with that. Like if you want to discover that deep shit, because like I said, it's interesting. Like deep in my mind, my person, whatever, my experience of me. See, because it's not an object, but somehow way in the bottom. Old, solid, wrongness. Is bring it to the light, which is to say, look at it. Like, what the fuck? What the actual fuck is going on? And what I find is interesting is we wouldn't have got there without hitting it again and again and again. Also, because I'm like, yeah, but what is taking it personally? Well, and then you're questioning me. You're like, well, what the fuck is, and why? And I'm like, good. Yeah, let's go. Let's look. What the fuck? Because I can see the irrationality of it, but still the irrationality doesn't touch it either. That's just intellectual. I can see, and I have memories of having made breakthroughs and shit. I'm like, I know this shit's not real, but still, yeah. Take it personally. This killer shit. It's good. What the fuck is going on?
Come do a workshop?
Come do a workshop. Awesome. Cool. Well, thanks, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate your contributions. You're out there. Hey, hit us in the comments. Thank you for your contributions in the comments. I share your comments with John. Well, I think I said that already to let him know that the podcast makes a difference. So if it makes a difference, let us know. If it doesn't make a difference, you can let us know that too. And then I can either make a correction or rag on you in the next podcast. Because sometimes people say some dumb shit,
Perfect.
Yeah. All right, dude.
Thank you.
Thanks, man. See ya.